Hi, class of 2020. This is Miss McGrath, and I want to share with you a little bit of the resources that I have in Google Classroom for completing your CDA portfolio. Tab G, H, I, and J. Okay, so the checklist for you to follow is on here, right here, the CDA Assignment Checklist. I will also take a picture of the one that I have graded and I will send it to you. The graded one shows where I've seen if you have created a draft or not. So I just want to give you some information. I also have on Google Classroom, I have created a spot for the resource collection items that go in G, H, I, and J. And I'm just going to talk about those right now. Resource collection IV is part of Tab G. So that's resource collection IV through IV point 4. So you have IV1, IV2, IV3, IV4. Okay. This is some information that you're going to have to look up. I have a document on here that gives you tips. So for resource collection IV1, the whole thing, 1, 2, 3, and 4 is called the Family Resource Guide. So you need to get the name and contact information, phone number and website of the local agency that provides family counseling. So in the directions for youth and families is a popular one. So you can use ones that you know of that are connected with Columbus City Schools and or any of the places. St. Vincent's is also another one, Family Center. So kind of talk with your director and kind of ask what places serve family counseling to families at your center. Resource collection IV2. You have to get the name and contact of a translation service for families whose home language is different than English. Could also include providers for American Sign Language. So this is supposed to reflect a possible group that would attend your center. So you want to make sure, you're thinking of that. What is the community in the center that you serve? And then make sure that when you're using the internet to look up translation services, that you're looking for places located in Columbus, Ohio. And then get information on, how do you get in contact? Do they have any possible, what it could possibly cost from their website? Resource collection IV-3. I also have tips of some places to help you on the Google Classroom. So IV-3 is the name, contact information, and brief descriptions of at least 2 agencies in your community that provide resources and services for children with disabilities. So this is usually the first one would be the school district that the child will attend for kindergarten. So it can be based on the child's home zip code or the center's zip code. You can use Columbus City Schools as one. If you go to columbuscityschools.k12.oh.us and type in special needs services, it will say, what do you do if you suspect a child has special needs? And it can be a young child, and they'll send you that. I also have a link in here of other like Columbus Speech and Hearing and some other places that work with families of infant and toddler children. You can also ask your director. Resource collection IV-4, which is the last part of the Family Resource Guide for Tab G, is a list of 3 or more, so at least 3 websites and brief descriptions of each that provide current information to help families understand how young children develop and learn. You need to include 1 current article from each website. The websites you pick must contain articles of information to help their child learn. So if you're doing an infant toddler CDA, your articles should be parent tips, article advice for infant and toddler children. If you're working with the preschool CDA, then it needs to be that age group 3 to 5. So make sure that at least 3 of your articles have that. Now moving on to resource collection V, which is part of tab H. That is 3 samples of record keeping, which is an accident incident report. You've already done that with Miss McGrath. That was put in your portfolio, like we already passed that out and put that in. We already talked about the emergency forms used for evacuation processes, fire drills, etc. from your center. So if you haven't got those, get those. Those go into resource collection V under tab H. The last thing is you have to document for a child developmental learning process. I've already created a short video about that, so I'm going to move on. So moving on to tab I. Tab I is going to be resource collection VI-1, VI-2, VI-3. So VI-1 is the name and contact information of your state's agency that is responsible for the regulation of child care centers. I've already included these documents. We punched holes in them and put them in your books. If you had a notebook in the month of January, we've already put those in. It's basically the ODJFS contact information. So the other thing is a list of group size and child-adult ratios for your state. All of that is included in there. So there's several copies of different licensing documents. Moving on to resource collection VI-2. You have to have a list of 2 or 3 early childhood associations, national, regional, state, or local level, including their website address, describing the professional resources and membership opportunities they offer. So you want to talk about their cost. I have some tips also typed up and listed in here listed in the Google Classroom. In the CDA Essentials textbook I also have this page. I scanned page 525 and 526 and put them in the Google Classroom. These have lists of associations that you can pick from. They include the National Association for the Education of Young Children, which is something that you guys learn as part of your word wall words. So the national would be NAEYC. We also have a state, and we do not have a local city. So we just have the state, Ohio. So OAEYC, Ohio Association for the Education of Young Children. And then you have the NACE. So that would be 2 of 3. Another one could be, of your choice, could be an Association for Childhood Education International, which is known as ACEI. Another one could be Child Care Aware of America. You will want to look up their websites. I have taken pictures of these pages. They're on Google Classroom under resources to help you with tab H through G through I. There's the Division of Early Childhood, DEC, the Military Child Education Coalition, the National Association for Bilingual Education, the National Black Child Development Institute, the National Head Start Association, Southern Early Childhood Association, also known as SECA, World Organization for Early Childhood Education, and then the Infant and Toddler Organization to be a member of is 0 to 3, National Center for Infant, Toddlers, and Families. So that is an example of those. It's a little bit different than organizations that are known for advocacy. So just to let you be aware of that. So those are professional membership organizations. They provide opportunities for you to earn credit to renew your CDA, renew your teaching licensure, or whatever the case may be as you move forward in your career path. And you have to list 2 or 3 of those. RCVI-3 is summary of the legal requirements in your state regarding child abuse and neglect. We talked about that, completing that before Christmas, because all of you had already gotten your certification by ODJFS in the state of Ohio for child abuse awareness and prevention. So also with letters G or tabs GHI of your portfolio, I made copies of the writing prompts for those competency statements. That would be competency statement IV, competency statement V, competency statement VI. I have those resources here on the Google Classroom. You will want to scroll down to locate some of those. We're going to come back to that. So they are on here for you to help you. I have a starter oops, I went too far, sorry. Where did it go? So I have templates for competency statement IV. I have a template so you can copy and paste. It has some sentence starters, some paragraph starters that go with the writing prompt. This is the blank checklist. I'm going to send pictures of your other checklist. If you need help with some of the beginning parts of your portfolio, finishing up lesson plans, etc., all of that stuff is still on here. Just scroll down to locate. Okay, so I have put all of this on here to help you. The last item in your portfolio that I was hoping to teach to you before at the end of March, before all of the things that had taken place this spring of 2020, is the professional philosophy statement. This needs to be at least 2 pages in length. So you need to have at least one going into 2 pages. It should be 12-point font. You don't want to make a bigger font, so 12-point font. You can, skip every other double space, sorry, is what I meant to say. So this is where you have a summary. I have added here professional philosophy statement, tab J, writing prompt, and examples. So I took a picture of the writing prompt in case you do not have a copy of that with you. And then I have 3 examples of professional philosophy statements that have feedback to the writer from me. So you can take a look at those. So hopefully those of you who are completing the CDA process, you are finding these resources, and that's all I have. Okay, so stay safe and let me know if you need any more help.